Okay, hello everyone, this is Eri, and today I will be taking a look at Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. Now, as far as I can tell, this game is actually some kind of joke. It kind of made the rounds a number of months ago among video game live streamers and YouTubers when it first showed up in the Humble Monthly bundle. I don't regularly get that, so I'm only taking a look at it now as part of clearing my backlog. But from what I know, this was apparently made by the same person who made a Flash game named Quap quite a number of years ago. I'm guessing his name was Bennett Foddy from that title there. And Quap was also a joke game. And the reason I say that it's a joke is because it's actually quite horrible. Quap, Q-W-O-P is how it's spelt. And when you take a look at it and try to break it down, the game design for that game was so clunky and so horrible that it's kind of hard to imagine that someone could be that bad at game designer, because it was just the silliest kind of concept, and it was so clunky as well. So I'm guessing that this is the same thing. I've seen some footage of this, but didn't really look much into it. So anyway, let's just see how far I can take this seriously. And normally I would take a look at the settings here, just to make sure everything's working. But unfortunately, I'm actually going to turn this off and delete all my saves at it, because something does show up when you start the game for the first time. Hopefully this won't be a recurring thing, but I actually need to go into my system registry and delete my data manually for this. Okay, so here we are again. When you start the game for the first time, this option prompt comes up, asking what kind of pointer are you using. Oh, and there's also a few language options here. But seeing trackpad is rather interesting because I don't use a laptop very much, but I believe they have absolute positioning as an option. And the way that works is rather similar to your touchscreen on a Nintendo DS, or perhaps a very small graphics tablet, drawing tablet of some sort. So my first impression is that this game was probably designed for mobile phones first and foremost, and not for PC. This font is unusually large on my screen as well. And yeah, let's just hit mouse here, and we're back to the main menu. Now that screen never comes up again. I can modify it in the settings menu, I believe. Just opening this. Yes, I suppose this is what that option was. Use trackpad tuning. Now that does make me feel a little concerned about whether this game is really meant to be played on PC. Because there's no easy way of making that dialogue show up again. You do have to go to the system registry. Games on this engine, the Unity engine, by default save their settings into the system registry, so you can't actually carry them across systems. And that's fine if you're on a smartphone, but that's not really a good thing for PC. So let's see, there's subtitles, full screen. Let's turn this off and change the. Okay, that's another issue. I'm trying to use my scroll wheel, and I'm barely scrolling, but I can drag with my mouse. So that, yes, this interface is clearly designed for mobile phones. Everything here is also kind of large as well. There does not appear to be any anti-aliasing either, if I can, just by looking at this cliff face here. Now, just from this alone, I'm feeling a little concerned about the graphics, because looks like all this is doing is changing the texture quality, and it's a quality meter. Another thing that made me rather concerned about whether this game was well made was the fact that this game is actually over a gigabyte in size. But for a simple game to be so large indicates that there's something wrong with the compression being done, or just or perhaps there's no compression done at all in this game, or that there's something very wrong with the just the optimization. Okay. Okay, there's quite an amount of dampening in my mouse movement here. That white circle there is indicates my movement of my mouse, but there's quite a lot of unusual mouse sensitivity here. It's not consistent. So yes, this is rather awkward. Yes, the mouse sensitivity here is not consistent. It's not matching my mouse completely. It appears to be... Yeah, I'm not actually moving my mouse up now. It's actually just being pushed back up.
There's no feeling more intense than starting over.
Nice music, I suppose. Okay, so I'm guessing, based on that little monologue, that this is sort of supposed to be some kind of artsy game to demonstrate a point, even though the design of this game is rather terrible. Oh, and, well, that probably does sound rather insulting, doesn't it? So yeah, there's already an immediate issue here, and it's that my mouse does not match exactly with this cursor indicator on the screen. So I actually have no idea how to control this consistently, and I can't apply my regular mouse muscle memory on this because, yeah, I'm actually dragging my mouse off the desk now, and it's just not matching with my muscle memory of movement. Yep, this mouse can. I wonder if. Yes, it supports a controller as well. Yeah, so movement is more consistent with using the controller stick. I'm just picking up my gamepad here. It looks like this white circle indicator moves at a consistent speed with a analog stick. So I'm guessing it's just the mouse that's not consistent. There's inconsistent mouse acceleration. Now let's see what happens if I press escape. And whoa! That is big. That is very big. Let's see what happens if I turn this up. Even though the quality is great, these graphics look pretty bad. I don't know how this is taking up an entire gigabyte. Yeah, I suppose the issue here is that I can't actually put my mouse at the center. I'm always being pushed out, and that's constantly pushing my mouse off center from my desk. Yeah, the sensitivity is just completely wrong here. I can't control this at all at a consistent speed. Yeah. Let's see how well this gamepad works. I mean, I suppose it's more consistent, but because it's slow, I can't actually react very quickly. Yeah, I tried to spin my entire joystick just there, but it just moved too slowly. Okay, even now, with the cursor moving at a consistent speed, this sledgehammer keeps snapping. Okay, I think that's enough of that. That's too slow, and this has an inconsistent speed, so I suppose this is... Geez, when did Quack come out? I mean, it was just this Flash game on you know, on your web browser, and the controls for that were just terribly designed. Like, it just didn't make any sense. And it had absolutely no indication of what was actually being done when you press the buttons. It just, all you know is that, oh, this moves this, how does it move? And here, I know that I can, you know, push myself with this sledgehammer, but yeah, this dampening when I move my mouse towards the center is going to constantly push my mouse off center from my desk. Okay, I actually could not move my mouse up. Again, I could not move my mouse up. Okay, how many times have I had to lift my mouse now? That's not good. And I've already maxed out my mouse sensitivity.
This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002, titled Sexy Hiking.
Okay, so if that monologue was any indication, this is meant to be a B game, and it's not really intended to be polished. So that explains why I'm constantly moving my mouse off my desk.
That's a deep frustration, a real punch in the gut.
Is it? Well, since that line came up, I suppose I should bring up something else I know about this game before I started. Before downloading it, there is of course a picture and a short synopsis. And in the synopsis, there only was a short haiku of sorts, or poem. Well, it was set up like a haiku, but it doesn't fit the rules of a haiku. It said, I created this game for a certain type of person, to hurt them. So that clearly indicates that this is meant to be a joke game of some sort. Even though these monologues seem to be taking it seriously, I just can't take it seriously because this just isn't a good game. And one thing this does remind me of is what it was like to walk with crutches. I'm making the right movements here with my mouse, but I'm constant. Okay, my mouse just fell off my desk. Okay, the fact that it's made out of recycled, inspired by the game.
Oof, sorry about that.
Okay, I just can't control this sledgehammer consistently. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this entire game just consists of...
Oh, it happened again. Keep on trying, don't let it get...
I'm not sure if that tone is mocking or encouraging, because...
This thing that we call failure is not the falling down.
That's quite pretentious. Okay. My hand is starting to get tired from just spinning in circles. Especially since this just refuses to follow my mouse consistently. Okay, some kind of licensed music was playing, so I'm just going to turn down the music volume for now. All I'm really doing is spinning my mouse in a circle, and the sledgehammer is not moving in a circle consistently. And I keep hitting the edge of my desk. Let's see what happens if I turn the mouse sensitivity down. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so this isn't tuned very well either. Let's see what happens if I click this. Okay, my mouse sensitivity just increased by a massive degree. Oh, wait a minute. It might be fast enough to get a 1-to-1. Okay, I'm doing this significantly faster if I turned on the trackpad. Although, of course, this game is still not really great.
The soul would have no rainbow had the eyes no
What
tears.
with all these pretentious
John
quotes?
Vance.
Okay. Hopefully that licensed music stops playing. Yep, it's just random jazz now. Okay. I've been playing for half an hour, so let's review this. This is clearly either this is a joke, or this is some kind of game that's trying to be pretentious by being deliberately bad. And I'm not sure which one it is, but the fact that this isn't a particularly interesting game, it's just hard for the sake of being hard, and it's bad for the sake of being bad. This is not a very good thing in my book. It's not very flattering. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this is just one of those pretentious games that acts like they know what gaming is, and they don't actually. And yeah, okay.